Hello，大家好，我係 Marguerite and welcome to my little Cantonese corner。今日2022年8月16號星期二 Today it is Tuesday, the 16th of August 2022, and I'm still in the US and I still haven't done a video, not still haven't done, I haven't done a video for a very long time, a couple months now, and that is mainly because I've been focusing on teaching traditional characters in Cantonese pronunciation. So I thought today, ahead of launching my next course, I would share with you a little bit about what this course is and why it is so phenomenal. And I can say that because it's the same course that I learned traditional characters using way back when. It is from Chinese University, so it's a university level course. And I was given permission by Chinese University to use the materials in teaching group classes, which was amazing. So I've been so privileged and feel so happy that my students who have been with me since April, and I started another course in June, and it's really true. If you want to learn traditional characters, the first 100 plus combinations, plus reading them in sentences, learning them in context, and really knowing them, this is the course for you. So before I delve into the course itself, I just want to tell you some of what makes it so special. And the first is that it is from Chinese University. It is introducing 20 characters per lesson, and these characters are not only learned in isolation, but in combinations. And then there's 40 sentences with each lesson so that you're actually getting a lot of practice reading them in full sentences so that not only is it helping you, there's a lot of repetition, different sentences, but repeating using the same characters. So you get a lot of practice just drilling that into your brain. There's also, I've done stroke order videos so that you actually know how to write each character in the proper stroke order. We have an activity sheet where we focus not only on learning the standard written Chinese, but also the Cantonese equivalent. So we do standard written characters, which are the characters that can be read and understood by Mandarin speakers, Cantonese speakers, other dialects. And then we have Cantonese characters, which is why when you ever do like a Google Translate or you do like on Facebook, someone will post something in Chinese and you click the instant translate button and it's like, that makes no sense. That's why, because if it's written in Cantonese characters, it really is almost, a lot of people, other Chinese speakers can't really understand it as well as if you're using standard written Chinese. So we do both of them. And we also do, let's see, what did I forget? Stroke order sentences, activity sheets, flashcards. So there's everything you need to master these 100 characters in 8 weeks, plus combinations and the Cantonese characters as well. So let's see what else. Oh, the new platform that I'm using, I love it because we can have a little community right in there, kind of like a Facebook-like community, so that if there's things outside of class we want to share, that we could do that there. A lot of times, like different signs people may see, or if you're in Hong Kong, like my building name, we kind of expand upon the characters in that way too. Like if you see a menu and you always wanted to know what the menu, your favorite menu item is, we can expand and do that too. So lots of good things inside the course. So without further ado, let me take you inside and show you what it's all about. Okay, so in the lesson itself, what we do is first, I'm going to share my screen and go to the vocabulary. And we go over the vocabulary in the lesson first and foremost. Now, this is lesson 1. So we first go over each of the 20 characters. We learn how to say them. This is the pronunciation in Yale. And I also use the Yutping tones. So for example, this is our yet, which is the first tone, the high tone, yet, and it means one or a, a of something. And the radical is the character itself, which is yet. And then in this box here, there would be expressions. But of course, this is the first character we're learning, so they're not going to put any expressions in the box just yet. So we go on and we learn 2, we learn 3, and there's still no expressions. And we get here to 10, and it looks just like a little cross, a little T, and it's a radical by itself. And here we get our first taste of the combinations, which would be 11, 12, and 13, combining the 10 with the 1, 10 with 2, and 10 with 3. Then we go on to more characters. There's 20 in each lesson again. This one is yan. yan, which means person, and the expression would be doubling it up to mean everybody, yan, yan. So we go on like that with all of the characters one by one, taking a look, making sure that we know them, and then we get to, let's see here. Here is our first character that actually has a different spoken Cantonese character. So this one in the written form is but. It's the high tone number 1, but. It is the negative prefix to verbs, except for yao, but we'll get into that. But we do here now have the Cantonese character of which is that fourth low tone, low falling And that character right here is the spoken Cantonese character, because you really won't be saying but to mean no in spoken Cantonese. So we have a taste of how that's presented there. Going on, we've got our, we've got our day. We learned the month. And then, of course, you can see the expression here. You get 1 month to, not 1 month, but the first month, January, 1月, 2月, 3月, 4月. So we learned those. You've got year, we have, and now we get into the pronouns. We have I, you, and now here we have another example of a character, ta. This means he, she, it, or he meaning God, and also animals as well. They've got a different way to write it to mean animals. But then you'll see here that we don't say ta in spoken Cantonese, do we? We say kao, the fifth low rising kao, and you can see that they tell you what that character is right there. And this is where it gets, this character in particular, I always think is quite interesting, because when you do like the instant translate on Facebook or elsewhere, or Google Translate, and you've got this character, they won't translate it as he or she or it. They translate it as something else, so it makes for quite hilarious translations of Cantonese. And that's why I think Cantonese translators will always have a job, because of the way that Cantonese characters are used. So this one is a big one. Ta, you're never going to say it out loud in spoken Cantonese, but here they share with you the way that you would, and the character that is written in Cantonese. Okay, and then we get here to this one here, the moon, the fourth tone, low falling moon, and that's the written form of your day, which is like ngõ day, right? Pluralizing the I. You can see here in the combinations, ngõ moon would be ngõ day, right? And so on and so forth. So we talk a little bit about that. Here's another one. It is hai in spoken, and it is your C, the low tone C in your written form, okay? And combinations there, which are very useful. And the last 4 characters, pretty or used for America, a measure word meaning person or thing, tall, or a surname, go. And we have finally guo, the mid-tone guo, which is country or nation, and your combinations there. So that's the first thing that we do, is we talk mainly about the vocabulary words singularly and in combination. Next, what we're going to do is we do sentences. And so for the sentences, it's really amazing, because you are speaking sentences right from the get-go. And here I'm going to share my screen and show you those sentences for lesson 1. So right away, you're learning how to say, for example, 1 year has, this is 10, that's 2, so together it's 12, and measure word for month. So 1 year has 12 months, and there's no fewer than 40 sentences. So you can see that the characters are repeated in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different sentences, helping you to really implant them in your brain. So these are the sentences that we then go over. Next up, what I normally do, well, this is something actually that you would do on your own, and that is learning how to write the characters. So this actually is a video that I've done that's in the curriculum, and in it I explain each character, a little bit about them, and then we get to writing them. So I show you then how to write them, the stroke order for writing each character, a little bit about the character, and yeah, so you can see that you get all of the characters in that way. So those are the stroke order videos. And then finally, we have activity sheets. Now, this is something that the activity sheets in the earlier classes are ones that I made up myself. So you can see, and I deliberately did that because you can see here how we're matching the standard written Chinese to the English to the spoken Cantonese character. So you're going to have standard written Chinese on this side, and then you'll read that, you'll match it to the English word, and then to the spoken Cantonese character on this side. And I also do, for example, there's many different forms of the word ta. So writing the English meaning for all of those when they appear differently, filling in the blanks with a proper character to form a proper sentence. And then again, just a little bit of choosing the correct definition. And that is the, oh, wait, there's more. And then translating the sentences into Chinese. So this is something you can print out and you can write the characters. But when we do it in class, it's just orally, just saying, I am not you, you are not him, he is not me. And then orally saying what that would be in standard written Chinese and also in spoken Cantonese. And then, of course, a little bit of creativity, giving you a Chinese character and then making a sentence out of it. Okay? So that encompasses pretty much everything that we do in the class. Of course, there's lots of chance to talk about cultural things that might come up and kind of expand upon the characters we are learning to ones that might look familiar, or I tend to bring in little anecdotes about characters, something very interesting about them. And so that is basically what we do. And we meet twice a week, and it's mandatory to attend at least one of the classes, just in order to keep in touch and make sure that I'm honoring my commitment to Chinese University to only be using these materials in a group class and not actually just providing them to anybody that wants them. Okay. And besides, the class is so much fun because you get to be with other people who are learning and swap stories. And it's a really good environment. And you will definitely learn 100 characters and many more combinations in the 8-week course. So I hope you liked that little preview of the Level 1 Traditional Characters in Cantonese Pronunciation course. If you or anyone you know is interested, the next course will start on Monday, September 12th. And if there is a lot of interest, I certainly could open up more times. But for right now, that's the time that I've set. It's twice a week, and it really is just the best way. If you're serious about learning traditional characters, connecting with your heritage, opening up a new world, whether you live in Hong Kong or in or near Chinatown, then this is the course for you. So I look forward to seeing you inside the course. Head on over to cantolingo.com and remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, comment below, and I'm just happy to be back. Now that I'm getting things more organized, I'll be able to do more videos on Cantonese Corner on learning Cantonese. I will see you next time. Thank you guys so much. Bye.